Some Republicans used Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's historic confirmation hearing to hit as many MAGA talking points as possible, with Marsha Blackburn starting with a rant about trans people, because of course, and then, connecting it to critical race theory.
You serve on the board of a school that teaches kindergartners, 5-year-old children, that they can choose their gender and teaches them about so-called white privilege. You have made clear that you believe judges must consider critical race theory when deciding how to sentence criminal defendants. Is it your personal hidden agenda to incorporate critical race theory into our legal system?
Ah, yes. And then there's Senator Tom Cotton, who went on a bizarro rant about Biden's America, barely even addressing Judge Jackson, except to mention that he didn't vote for her during previous confirmation hearings.
We are witnessing a breakdown of society. Career criminals are committing violent crimes and going free under the guise of a supposedly more equitable justice system. And liberal judges who have more sympathy for the victimizers than for the victims are a big part of the problem.
Judge Jackson was incredibly poised throughout the hearing, a literal un-Kavanaugh in her temperament, as well as her qualifications. But the look on her face was every black woman ever. Thankfully, right after that, Senator Cory Booker brought her a moment of joy.
This is not a normal day for America. We have never had this moment before. And I just want to talk about the joy. I know tomorrow in the coming hearings, we're going to have tough, hard questions. But please, let me just acknowledge the fact that this is not normal. It's never happened before. The Senate is poised right now to break another barrier. We are on the precipice of shattering another ceiling.
With me now, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. He is a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I just want to thank you for making Ketanji smile. She's really one of the kindest and sweetest people. I just like seeing her smile. You also made her husband, who is her college, the love of her life, going from college on, cry. So you really did that today. I just want to get, what was your feeling and emotion? I know everybody I know was ugly crying during her speech. What was your emotion watching her?
I was overwhelmed. As soon as she began, I just felt the emotion flowing through me from ancestors and generations that made this day possible. This is, I know there's a lot of the normal politics going back and forth, but I just had to call stop for a second. This is a great day in our country. And I just think that she's going to shine throughout these hearings because she is an exceptional human being, one. She is eminently qualified, two. And I sat with her. She has got grit and grace. I think she's going to show America the power of her character this week.
And you eminently qualified. I mean, she is more qualified. Let's put this chart up. Hillary Clinton tweeted this out today. It's like, seems qualified to me. She literally ticks more boxes and qualifications than the 3 Trump justices combined, and has a first-class temperament. So unlike Kavanaugh, do you think that any of your colleagues who got up there, and to me they sounded like, the adults in the Peanuts cartoons that sound like wah, 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 wah. That's what I heard when they were talking. Do you think any of these people are going to vote for her? Some of them have voted for her before to confirm her. Will any Republican vote for her?
I don't know. You know what's hollow about some of these attacks that you saw is they're belied by other Republicans or other groups from the Fraternal Order of Police, the largest police union in the country, endorsing her, that represents the majority of police, from victims advocacy groups to Republican appointed judges. She is the model of what we want on the Supreme Court. So there's going to be a lot of attacks tomorrow. She will not wither under their attacks. She will shine. And again, the people outside of the political arena that we're in right now, they are affirming the truth of her character and the qualification that she has.
One of my favorite parts of her speech is when she referenced Constance Baker Motley, the fact that she, they share a birthday and that she patterns herself after. That was like one of the high points of it for me. And, it's interesting that that you have some on the right who are arguing that just the fact that a black woman is nominated is the offense, right? That it is unfair for President Biden to have made that promise, when the idea is there have been, 115 justices? There have been no black women. And the decisions that are being made are going to affect black women, whether it's Roe versus Wade. You had Marsha Blackburn basically make it clear she wants to make contraception illegal. What do you think is the importance of having a black woman on the court?
Well, I just want to make the point to you that there have been generations of black women qualified for the court.
Absolutely.
And you've had a lot of white men on the court. Again, some of the great, brilliant legal minds of our nation's history. But the reality is, a lot of them didn't go to law school, didn't have her experience. So here is somebody finally affirming what has been the truth: is that this has been an exclusive club for almost its entire existence, and now we are shattering that. And that's really important to understand. And my hope is, as much as they want to try to turn this reality on its head, the reality is Joe Biden did what Ronald Reagan did by saying, hey, look, we have been excluding large percentages of our population, if not the majority of our population. It's about time we reach deep into the well of quality and genius and talent and credentials for a black woman, and show America that she is like Jackie Robinson was, somebody that was probably overqualified to be in the National Baseball League, but came forward and showed us what the full talent and array of American potential is.
You have particular talent for making people smile, and you're a very nice man. So I don't want to try to get you to channel the true ugly that's coming. But Sherrilyn Ifill did a tweet today, the brilliant Sherrilyn Ifill, who should also be on the Supreme Court, talked
amazing.
about the fact that all of the whining that a lot of Republicans did today about the treatment of Brett Kavanaugh, who was incredibly accused of a sexual assault, and that is why he was, crying and saying he liked beer and complaining about Bork and all the rest of it. How ugly do you think this is going to get, given that they are in full grievance mode on the other side?
You know me, I'm a prisoner of hope.
Yeah.
We're going to be prepared for it because, as you've already seen, when black women are elevated from Kamala Harris to the judge, they're going to be attacked in ways that are awful. But I'm hoping that we're going to see some comedy, not comedy, but comity, and that we're going to see above the board, look, these are equal members of the United States Senate's Judiciary Committee. There's going to be attacks that I don't agree with and I think are out of line. But as far as the general civility of this, I don't think we're going to turn this into this is going to be turned into a circus at all.
I will try. I'm not a prisoner of hope. I'm a prisoner of cynicism. So I'm gonna wait, because I think it's gonna become a D with a D. But we're gonna see what happens. Senator Cory Booker, always great.
I'll be texting you.
Yes, please text me. That's the funny part. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, Senator Booker. And